Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to share a very dinky little folio that I've made. This is virtually a one-page wonder, 1 page and a half maybe, wonder, and it's really easy to make. It'll fit either inside a mini album or it's a little standalone piece if you want to make something to give a gift voucher or tea bag swaps or any little dinky gift that you've got in there that you want to share. So I've made mine with the By the Sea collection. I've got a very pretty little front on it, but I'll explain more about that later. And when you open it up, inside you've got an area here that I have left blank so that you can stick a picture on that one. You've got room for a pocket there with, you can put one of the little cutter parts from the collection inside there. You've got a area for a tag here. You can decorate that how you like. That just slots down the side here. You flip that over. You've got room here for a couple of tags that you can slot inside, and also a little tuck spot here that you can tuck something also in there. You've got another area where you can add one of your cutter parts. This flips open with an area to write here. Little area here to write and somewhere to pop a photograph underneath there. This all tucks away nicely and folds up with another pocket on the back for an area for your cutter part. More little notes and photographs there. And that is from the base is made from one 8x8 piece of paper. So if I show you how to make the base now, you can get an idea of how it all comes together. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I get to the base stage of this little album. And it's kind of a one-page wonder, the base, because it's out of one 8x8 sheet of paper. And I've dug into my stash and I'm using this lovely, one of my favourites here, By the Sea, but you could use any of your collections that you've got, but I just wanted to show you the base. So to get to this point, you need, let me get my scoring tool over. You need one 8x8 piece of paper and you need to cut it at 8 inches, so just across by 6, and 6 needs to be your length, so that's going to be the height of your album. And then you're going to be left with this piece 2 inches by 8 inches. So I'm going to discard that for a second. And all you need to do then is on your long side, score at 3, 3.5, 4 and 7 inches. And flip it and do exactly the same again, just to make sure. So at 3, 3.5, 4 and 7 inches, just to help those lines when you fold them. And then you want to score, if you've got a directional paper like this one with my anchors on it, this score line needs to be at the bottom of there. So when you turn it on the short side, you just need to score at, let's have a look now, 1.25. Is that right? Let me just check on that. Let me check that. Oh yeah, always looks different when you've rounded the corners. So 1.25. And the same, flip over and do that again on there. So those are your score lines now. Just pop that aside. And all you want to do is take your scissors, or if at first we score on these fold on these score lines, I'm going to have my, let's just see, I'm going to have my anchors on the inside. So I'm going to fold on my score lines now. So this is my front. So just try and get these as level as you can. I'm going to find my next score line. And my next one is there. And my last one is there. Okay, so give those a good flatten. Now, where these ones in the middle are, this is the 3, 3.5 and 4. The actual 3.5 line needs to come forwards and the other 2 need to go back, making, let me just, this little mountain valley effect, just like that. Okay, and then you've got this flap on the outside here. Now at the bottom, you've also got this 1 1/4 fold line. So let's score on that one as well. And all you need to do now is cut up. So on the first score line, you want to cut up to that where they intersect. Leave the second one, and on the third score line we want to cut up as well. And then cut that section out altogether. So it might be easier just to do it like this. Just trim that section out altogether. So you've now got that. Then on this side here, you need to cut this end section out. So cut up to your intersection and trim that piece out, like so. Now, you can, to make this easier for folding in, you can tidy up these pieces here if you like, because mine is a bit wonky there. Let's just sort that one out. That one's okay, and let's just tidy this one up. There we go. Okay, so that's your base part there. Now, you can use your corner rounder. I've got the 1/2 inch one here, and I'm just going to round my corners. So on this outside flap, I'm going to round those, and on this bottom flap, I'm also going to round these, and the same on this one. You don't have to, but it just makes it look quite pretty. So get rid of all that. And this is what you've got now. So you can kind of see it coming together. So these are your little pockets that fold up. And this part here now, you need to add some glue to. So you can add glue or you can add red line tape. It's entirely up to you. So in this middle section here, you need to pop some glue in there. Just put too much glue in there, like you do. And stick those 2 together. And that gives you, just wipe my hands. That gives you this little piece which is going to be a hinge to attach a page to. So you can see now these 2 will fold up, and you can trim away here. If at this point now this feels a little bit tight, then just slightly taper those edges off, and that will give you an easier fold when you come to pop your pockets up. So that's what we've got now, and when this all folds together, that will fold in like this, and this one will fold like that. Now that is your main part of your album, and you are left with this piece here. Now you can cut this piece to 4 3/4 by 6 inches, but you can cut longer if you want to, but this is, I'll show you what I've done. So let me just cut this down. So this is what I've got left out of that 8 by 8 sheet, and on the 4 3/4 by 6 inches. No, 4 3/4 by 6. I'm telling you lies here. 4 3/4. There we go. 4 3/4 by 2 inches. That would be better. That gives me my flip part. So I'm just going to score at 1/2 inch. So I've got 4 3/4 by 2 inches, and I'm scoring at 1/2 inch. And this is going to make my flap part, which is going to flap up like this. Again, be mindful of your directional papers if you're going to make this album, or if you don't mind because you're going to stick bits over it, then that's fine too. So this piece is going to then pop onto here. Now you can make yours longer if you want to, but I like mine just to be on the shorter side there because I want it to flop over this pocket, which is actually going to flop that way. So you can do either way really. So if I bring in the one I'm working on, here you can see I'm going to pop these up. I've added a little element here. I've stopped, you see. I was about to keep decorating, but I think I'll stop and show you how I've got to this point. And you can use this piece on either side of your album. I've yet to decide, but I just wanted to show you the base. So that's how I've got to there. So back in with there here. Now this piece I've yet to decide, but you can use this on a pocket on the back if you decide to. Flip that over. Any other elements you might decide to use it. So as yet I've held that one back. I'll show you what I've done with that later. But first of all, you need a piece to make your panel in the middle, and this is going to go into your hidden hinge. So you need, this is where I've got my measurements. I was getting confused with you before, which is the 4 3/4 by 6 inch piece. Now this is an extra piece, and all you want to do on this is score at 3 inches. So I'm just going to fold down there, score at 3 inches, and this, when you fold it in half, is going to attach to, now we've got rid of that, we can get rid of our scoreboard, is going to attach to this middle section here, and it's going to give us a pocket, if you wish to have it as a pocket, an added page. It's up to you. I'm going to use mine as a pocket, obviously. Now what you want to do at this point is slightly taper your hinge, like so, so that when you add your pocket on, it's not going to show over the top. Now I'm going to add a little section here into my pocket, so bear with me a second. Now you can just add this on one side, or you can add it on both sides. I think I'm just going to add mine on one side. I'm going to notch that out so that I'll be able to see where I'm going to add my tag in there. And all you want to do then is first add some glue on this side of your hinge, one side. Pop that glue on. And let's get that on camera. Attach your pocket in place. Give that a good rub down, like so. Make sure that will fold up in case you do want to have a pocket later. There we go. Now, if you want to fit your pocket in, this to be your pocket, and you don't want to lose this 1/2 inch of your pocket, only pop glue on this outer edge and the bottom. Otherwise, just pop it all over there if you're not too bothered about how thick your pocket is going to be. So I'm going to pop mine on there, and I'm going to pop along the bottom like so. Pop plenty there, leaving your top open, and let's glue that down. Give that time to grab. And now you've got a good place to, so you've got plenty of room in there to add a tag or little notelets or whatever you want to add in there. And this page just becomes your outside pocket. Now you can trim this, trim your outer piece, or you can add tabs to this. It's entirely up to you. You can trim it a little slightly shorter to fit into your album. I like it either way. Like so. Now you can add another piece on here if you like. It's up to you. There's just so many options with this little booklet. So at this point now, this is where I'm up to with mine, but I haven't got my inner section in, so I'm going to show you that in a second. This is going to be my inner section on this one, and that's where I'm up to. Now I just wanted to show you one other piece to make for the front of these albums, which is, and of course you can flip round and have this on the back if you wanted to. Have another little piece on there. You can add tabs on here to move this. It really is up to you, but it makes a great little piece to add into a mini album, because it's, or just to have on its own. You can send this instead of a card, add a little gift card in here, tea bags, anything you feel like. Now on the front I want to add one of the frames from the collection, but it's very busy, so I've decided to add mine to a piece of cream card, which will just lift the colours off there. But I cut the centre out of the frame, and I added a piece, you can probably just see a piece of acetate in there, and then can you see that? Well, I have added acetate in there and some foam tape, and I'm going to pop this on this cream card where I've also added some background paper to it. And all I'm going to do now is add in some sequins into here, and this is just going to make the front of my card a little bit different. So I've fished out my sequins. That wasn't very good at getting them in the middle, was it? There we go. And I'm going to pop all these sequins onto the centre section there. Spread them out a bit. There we go. I'm going to take a couple of the dark blue ones out so that it's not as bright. And that will do us, I think. I'm going to keep them within that central section, and I'm going to take off my foam tape. And this is always easier said than done, isn't it? So, I mean, I was partly prepared by getting it ready, but you can't get these bits off before you're ready to stick it down, can you? So just take all these off. If you've got it on a roll, even better. Okay, so that's where I am there with that now. Just going to give that middle section a little clean up. There we go. And now, sticky fingers there. Now I'm ready to add that on. So I'm just going to pop that over the top of there, with a little cream border as well. Give that a slight jiggle, and then make sure you've got it all sealed down. And then that is my shaker element there, which hopefully looks a little bit like the sea. There we go. So that is our sea section for the front of my original one. But just another idea of what to do. Fold out to pop on the front. So that's what I've got so far. So I'm going to come back to you when I'm decorated with a few more tips and tricks. So I've finished up decorating my little album now. On top of the shaker element, I also cut another frame and layered that just with glue on the top. I like the way the dark blue set it off against the rest of the paper. I fussy cut some elements from the papers, which was the seashells, the little fish there, and a starfish, and I added those to the corner, and also used one of the chipboard elements, well, two actually, the little button there, as a focal point. I popped in the By the Sea little title there and added the two stamps. I just popped those up as well just to add a bit of dimension, and you can see that the sequins in the shaker element are moving about behind. I used that shaker element as a way to anchor the ribbon, and I just stuck it only behind the shaker element. So when it opens up, let's get this right now, I've decided to leave this page plain because I like the fact of having one whole area to put a picture. So that's what I've got there. This piece is the pocket, which I've added one of the cut apart pieces in. You could add a gift voucher in there if you wanted to, or even a tea bag. In the top here where we made the added in pocket with the hidden hinge, I've just cut a tag shape. I haven't put anything on it because I intend to put a couple of pictures in there, and I cut it double, so in case I wanted to add extras in there. But you could really go to town with your tag in there if you wanted to. Add an eyelet, add ribbon, it's up to you. When I fold again, this is the pocket on the inside that I've only stuck on 3 sides, well 2 sides, and left the 3rd side open, sorry. And that's space for some more little tags or cutter parts. And where the stamps are here, I've only added them at the side so that I can use it as a tuck spot to add in other little elements. Then I added another one of the cutter parts and left enough room with an area to write on that side. And then here on the flip element, I've added some more of the cutter part. Well, I fussy cut the shells and the starfish. Added another little writing spot there, and that flips up with another large area to add a picture. I like those large areas. This all folds back and hides underneath that cutter part, and when you fold it all together, there's the final pocket on the back with another cutter part piece that you can add a picture and journal in and tuck that into that spot, and it isn't affected when you tie it up together. So you can, like I say, you can add this into a little mini album, especially if you don't put that pocket on the back. And you can also use it as a standalone piece to send as a birthday card, which would be lovely. Add little surprises, chocolates, and gift cards in there, even money. So I hope you like this little folio. I'd love to hear what you think. If you do, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.